What's going on? My name is Brendan, and I'm 19 years old, and I wanted to share my story about how I had a herniated disc, and I got a microdiscectomy recently, and also laminectomy with that. And I wanted to talk about my experience with it and how I'm feeling now, because when I was going through this, I would go on YouTube and type in microdiscectomy, people with herniated discs, young people with herniated discs specifically, and I thought that these really helped me out. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna make a little video here because if it could help one person sleep better at night, knowing that I've gone through this process and I can tell you exactly what to look forward to, I'm gonna do it. So here we go. So I'm a freshman in college. I play basketball in a conference in the Northwest Conference. And because of my herniation, I was forced to be a medical redshirt this year, which was an extreme drag because not only could I not play basketball, which was why I came to the school in the first place, was I couldn't exercise and life was just terrible. Going back to my point was, you see all over the internet all these people that are a little older than me, past probably 25 years old, that have this issue, but I could not find many people that were under 25 that had this same surgery, that really had these herniations. But I know these people are out there, and that's why I wanted to share my story. So it all happened pretty much in September. I came to my school and I was playing basketball and I was feeling great. And then a bad squat and just kind of constant playing on it after that, I just thought it was a muscle sprain, or pulling a muscle. It ended up feeling like some nerve pain that I never had before. My trainer never really trusted what I was saying, so she was treating it in a terrible way that was actually making it worse. So I want to encourage you guys to get an MRI because it took me a month to get an MRI. So I had this back in September, and I finally had the surgery on December 29th. I got pretty much everything that I could have done that was a conservative route. I got an epidural steroid injection, I got the oral steroids, I did aquatherapy, I did physical therapy, I went to a chiropractor, and I did basically everything you possibly can do, and it wasn't even keeping me the same. I was still getting worse and worse. And it was getting to the point where I couldn't even stand very long in areas, my foot was going numb. It's the L4 L5 herniation, and what happens is it also disc fragment came off, and they couldn't really see that in the first MRI. It took 2 MRIs to really see that, and I had to do that when I met with my surgeon. You know, being 19 and thinking about back surgery, specifically a microdiscectomy, it really can pay a toll on yourself. Being so negative in life and really saying, why me? Why do I have to go through such a thing? But I got to the point where I was actually kind of positive. Watching these videos showed me that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. That if I have this surgery, which I want to try all the conservative routes first, but for me, surgery was the only option because I wanted to fix it at the root. I didn't want to just mask the pain so I could, try and play basketball for 4 months and then end up being hurt again. I wanted to do it the right way, get the surgery, and all these people telling you that this back surgery is such a bad thing for you, that you need to really talk to them and figure out where they're pulling this information from, because back surgery has become so sophisticated just in the past 2-3 years that we need to figure out that this really is a minimal invasive surgery, this microdiscectomy. Granted, I didn't have a spinal fusion or anything like that, but having this microdiscectomy put a new light in my eyes with surgery. This was the first surgery that I had, and of course, my parents weren't too happy about their son at 19 going through back surgery. But would I have done the surgery again? I'm actually 2.5 weeks out post-op, and I'm sitting in a chair like this, and I'm talking to you on a stool. I would have this surgery every single time because I feel like I'm getting so much better. I'm so far beyond where I was before surgery already at 2 weeks, and I can see at the end of the tunnel, I'm feeling so good. So talking about the procedure itself, I went in on a Wednesday to talk with the surgeon because I came home from Christmas break and I wanted to get this surgery if I needed it during Christmas break so I could go back to school and not have to worry about having it up there. So I talked to him and he had me get another MRI. He said, your MRI isn't too bad, so I want to send you in and see if the MRI shows that the herniation has gotten bigger, or there's more disc fragment or something. So I got another MRI, and he called me the same night and said, your herniation has gotten a little bigger. We could probably do surgery on you. And at that point, I was like, I've exhausted everything I possibly have done. all my options basically, so I think that surgery is the next move. And I was pretty excited about it, but I was also extremely nervous because I was excited because I'd seen all these success stories, but I was also nervous because I'd have to be going under the knife, and that is kind of a scary thing to think about. For me, the next morning was the tough part because I was scheduled for the Friday right after that for my surgery, which is still pretty close. But I got woken up by my mom saying the doctor just called that Thursday and said, you can come in today at 1:30 and get surgery. So I went 2 hours away and I waited for like 4 hours in the waiting room, and then it was time for surgery. And it was not pleasant, guys. I'm not gonna string you along and say surgery's great, but the pain and suffering I went through for 2-3 days compared to every single day where you cannot walk, you can't just go out with your friends, you can't be active, you can't run, all these things, it was worth it. Because I stayed the night in the hospital, which sucked, the anesthesia sucked, but at the same point, the next day I was sitting in my bed. That night after the surgery I was walking. The next day I went on a walk. Things do get better, and after 3-4 days I was off medication. For 2 weeks now I've been just taking Advil whenever I feel need. The pain, the sciatica in my leg, is really almost gone. Like, it's insane. I don't know if this works for every single person, but for me specifically, like, my sciatica is pretty much gone. I get my stitches out this week, and my incision area isn't too bad right now. It's feeling pretty good. I'm able to walk at distances basically wherever I want to walk. I'm able to ride in cars. I still don't really like driving, even though I've done it a few times. But my doctor did say he doesn't want me to bend, lift, or twist for 6 weeks, so I can't lift anything over 5 pounds. But I feel so good right now, and I would not be afraid of surgery if I were you guys. Surgery seems scary, but it was the best option for me, and I'm so happy that I had surgery. I'm just extremely ecstatic. The next thing I wanted to talk about was something post-op. Something I've been dealing with a little bit, not too bad, is phantom nerve pain. I read somewhere that your nerve takes so much longer to heal than your muscles. And I mean, that makes sense because my nerve was impinged by herniation, by disc fragments for months. So it should make sense that it's going to take a little while for that nerve to feel good and to be able to know that it's healing. So for me, like, every once in a while after my surgery, I felt a little bit of nerve pain in my left leg, but it's like kind of fainter and it's just not constant. I do have my ups and downs, so if you just had your surgery, don't be worried about this. This is pretty normal. And I talked to my doctor and he was extremely adamant about this is normal. You gotta understand that your nerve is really trying to be healed, and it doesn't know that yet, and when it's felt this way for so long, it can continue to like kind of pump these weird feelings down your leg. And I just would keep an open mind, and I would not jump to conclusions right away, because I noticed that some days during my post-op I've been a little more down than I have, but overall my mood is greatly enhanced and I'm feeling so much better. Lastly, I wanted to talk about what I'm going to do when I'm healed. Like, after 6 weeks, I'm gonna start my physical therapy, and then I'm gonna get back into basketball. And that's really what I wanna do. I want to get back and play basketball. I wanna be back next year, and I wanna be able to play next year. So I'm extremely excited because of the progress I've made already, and I'm pretty confident that this will be an achievable goal. But the most important thing that I really wanna do is just sweat. Like, it's such a little thing that we don't think about, and it's such like oh, I hate sweating, all this. But I have sweat maybe a few times in the last few months. And that's so weird for me because I go from every single day I'm working out, I'm playing basketball, and I'm sweating. And then you go to this just not activeness, and my mind, I need that the cognitive feeling that I'm working out, and I need to sweat. I need my skin to feel warm, which is a weird sensation, but it is something I've kind of missed. So post comments down below. I'm not really planning on shooting any other videos anytime soon, but if you guys want me to do like a later on video to tell you how I'm doing. I'll post that most likely, but I would like to just, if you want to leave comments down below, I'll comment back and I'll let you guys know what's going on with me. If you have any questions with the whole process or what you're going through, I would love to, be helpful. So thank you guys for watching.